All right, so we're going to wrap up now. I'm going to give you a brief description of our services. Talk about whether you should consider a review. I can mention now that Vince Angermeier is going to set up a digital survey and we'll send all of you a link in case you want to fill that out. And we're going to tell you how to ask for a review. If you are new to us, we have the comment cards that either the existing clients or a new person could fill out and request a conference with us at no charge. We're happy to do that for you. Here are our services. This is a little hard to read, but think of it this way. If it has to do with estate planning, we do it. So we do set up revocable, irrevocable trusts, wills, powers of attorney, marital property agreements. On the other law side, Stacy will help you with Medicaid eligibility and asset protection, both in a crisis mode when you have to do it because you've gone into a long-term care facility, but also in planning ahead using irrevocable trusts. And then we also do probate and trust administration to help implement the plan that we've done at the time that somebody has passed away in your life. And then there's tax planning, and that involves irrevocable trusts that Roman and I might do, like a life insurance trust or a charitable trust. So that's our range of services. What type of review should you have? Well, COVID allowed us to learn how to use the phone and Zoom in addition to in-person meetings, because a lot of times in-person meetings were a poor idea when everybody was running around getting sick. So, but I'm not you. I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of the phone. I like to see your face and the reaction that you have, and I'm sure you want to see us. So we're happy to set up Zoom conferences with you. And sometimes you can get more people involved in your family to watch those as well. We're also very happy to do in-person meetings. And we have 3 offices that we still use. One is our downtown office. That's the mothership. You can, people are concerned about coming downtown, but honestly, the traffic's not bad, and we have free parking right next to the building. We also have a Waukesha office, and that's down the highway. You exit at Highway 164. That's where, what's that restaurant? Thunder Bay Grill is right there. Thank you, Roman. And then Cedarburg, we have that office. And if you have a medical problem and you can't get to any of our offices, you don't travel well, we'll come to you. So how do you initiate a review? Give us a call. And you're likely going to get routed to Teresa Winkleman, who will be able to get you on the calendar, send you a confirming email, a map to the location where you're going. And if you don't hear from us in more than 24 hours, call us again. We'll try to respond as quickly as we can. So Milwaukee is our main office. And although it says by appointment only on the Waukesha and Cedarburg office, that's true. We don't have any rules about when those appointments could be made. So if it suits your convenience, we'll see you out at those places. Obviously, we're going to try to make things efficient for ourselves. So if I already have a meeting set in the Waukesha office in 2 or 3 days from the date that you wanted, I'm going to try to encourage you to come out and see us in the Waukesha office at a time when I can get out there also for another appointment. Did I do it again? I did. Finally, questions. And I want you to know it did take us just almost exactly an hour to finish the program. Now, I'm going to ask Stacy and Roman to help me see people who have a hand, who have a question. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Find out when the last time you filled out one of these forms was. And if it's more than a few years, they're going to send you a blank one and ask you to start over from scratch. If it was more recent.
Any other? I can't believe it. Come on. I know there are questions.
Straight back.
Where? Yes, sir.
So, unfortunately, some people that do.
No, but I don't see why we can't make them available. Yeah, and the thing, the whole program has been recorded, and our technology people have been running the slides, and so you'll be able to see the slides if you go online. Now, how do you go online? It's pretty easy. Even an idiot like me can do it. I type the words Angermeier and Rogers, all one word, and then the word YouTube, and poof, it takes you right to our site. At that site, probably for the last 3 or 4 years, we've got recordings of these segment by segment. So there'll be a segment on Roman's funding, a segment on Stacy's long-term care planning. Uh, Over the years, you'll see those. And then one day we all came in and did short little conversations about 5 minutes in length on different subjects that we commonly get asked about. So you'll find those on there as well. So you might get a good answer to your question, but we're always happy to talk to you.
State of Wisconsin, we lose that opportunity. So we want to make sure that if you acquire property outside the state,
Yeah, if you call the office, ask Teresa to email you a PDF of the slides, we'll be happy to do that. We have a lady right here.
some people have savings bonds that they may have gotten as some promotion, or they were part of a payroll savings program that used to be popular years ago. And those are also items that we find out. We've had as many as $75,000 worth of bonds that people.
I'm going to answer this because I actually attended a conference in September and they talked about this. They cannot be funded into a trust. It's all kind of anonymous and by the code and the wallet key code. And so it's more or less impossible to fund them into a trust. We do something for all of our trust clients called an assignment of personal and digital property that says technically those assets would be owned by the trust, but good luck trying to get the crypto company to do that. Now, that being said, if you have something like Coinbase, that's an actual account with a login that could be assigned to a trust. But if you're just out there buying individual coins, those we can't get into the trust.
When they were growing up, bought life insurance or had parents buy life insurance for them in either Prudential or MetLife. Those companies went through a process. They started out as mutual companies, and they then became stock companies, and the process is called demutualization. And what they did is they issued stock shares to the policy owners based upon how much insurance they had. So it might be, oftentimes we see 40, 50 shares, and that will be enough to create a problem. So look for those statements that come in, usually on a quarterly basis. Those companies pay dividends. They pay a dividend, you get a statement, it would show how many shares you own in certificate, and that's something that you want to take care of. And then the last circle there is new accounts that you may have switched financial advisors, gone to a different bank. I won't slander any banks here in public, but there are some banks that used to be very friendly to the people of our community that have ended up being not so nice to work with due to changes in ownership. So people move their accounts from those banks, but they forget to update the ownership.
Or you might have the irrevocable trust purchase property from the revocable trust. Maybe that's going in the wrong direction for you.
Assets that we've seen missed. And here's just a few common mistakes. If you have a safe deposit box, first of all,
You're almost everybody in this room got an assignment of tangible personal property. Those of you who have seen us since maybe 2016 have a document that says assignment of tangible personal property and digital property. So it's everything you can think of. It's all your stuff. Pots, pans, furniture, jewelry, clothing, bowling balls, typewriters. Anything you can touch and feel went into your trust. It's already there.
Oftentimes the things that are in the binder might be helpful to get them that authority. So please don't keep the
Yeah, so the question is about Medicaid annuities. It's a very specialty product that I work with one company who does them. We do not sell them. We do not handle them, but we work with a company who can get them. Again, under Medicaid, there's lots of rules and regulations, and so it's only a very specific type of annuity that will qualify as a Medicaid compliant annuity. And there's one company I know that does them.
No longer valid. They lose the right to get in the box, and we may have to do something called a special administration, and I think they're running about $1,000 just to get into your box, because you have to go through many of the same procedures as probate just to get into that box. The next one there is the IRA beneficiary.
Yeah, so under Medicaid rules, a house of any value, if you are married, is exempt. If you are single, your house has to be less than $750,000. So yes, you could buy a bigger house or do a home improvement to spend down some of that money and become eligible. The thing to be aware of with the house is even though Medicaid lets you keep the house when you apply for Medicaid, they will put a lien on it. So after you pass away and it goes to the kids as their inheritance, Medicaid comes back and says, actually, we want to be reimbursed for everything we paid first before anything goes to the kids. So it doesn't necessarily protect anything in the long run. Yeah. That's why whenever we do an irrevocable trust, we always want to put the house in the irrevocable trust, because then they can't come back and get it. I don't see any more hands.
We have some questions online.
Okay.
We have a question. Does a sole proprietor of an LLC need to report with a new secure 2.0 tax law?
Are you sure it isn't the question about the Corporate Transparency Act? Because a single member LLC does have to report.
The question's written, does a sole proprietor of an LLC need to report with the new secure 2.0 tax law?
They meant the Corporate Transparency Act, I'm pretty sure. And the answer is yes, you have to report.
Okay. And then we have a
Anybody
question.
else?
Oop.
Where? Well, there's a gentleman in the back.
Is if you acquire new property, and especially we're talking about property in another state, make sure to get that real estate in trust, or if
It depends. It's really a judgment of the trustee with our advice. Some assets you can transfer the way they are. It's called an in-kind transfer. And it's not uncommon to do that with real estate, where you've got a vacation property that both the kids like, and then you transfer an undivided 1/2 interest to each of their trusts, and then they'll share that property. If it's mom and dad's house and nobody wants to live there, then that house will get sold, and the net proceeds of the sale will be distributed to the beneficiary. So we've got lots of choices. Joe, do you have some other online ones?
Yes. Have you heard of a micro board in Wisconsin for a person who has a disability? If so, if a micro board was set up, would this have an impact on a revocable trust? That's what it says. Okay.
I haven't either.
Okay. And then we have another question. So if I have a revocable trust, but no LLC, per the Corporate Transparency Act, do I need to report annually?
No, don't have to report who the beneficial owner of a trust is. What a great thing that is for us. Anybody else, Joe, online?
Not currently.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. It was lots of fun to see everybody again. Have a great day and a happy holiday.